In the gripping finale of the last episode, Haejun's critical lapse in communication triggers a pivotal moment with Yihan. With a malevolent grin etched across her face, she seizes her phone with purpose, firing off a message to him. On the boat, Yihan finds himself irresistibly drawn to Haejun after their scintillating first kiss. Yet, just as passion begins to consume them, Haejun abruptly halts Yihan, insisting on a crucial conversation first. Yihan tenderly caresses Haejun's face, asserting that talk can wait, that their connection is paramount. With unwavering determination, he leans in for another kiss, but Haejun intervenes once more, adamant that they must address matters first. Yihan, recognizing his own impatience, humbly apologizes, revealing the inner turmoil of his self-control struggle. Haejun is astounded by Yihan's unfiltered honesty, her own resolve faltering in the face of such vulnerability. When pressed by Yihan, her mind blanks, unable to recall her original intent. In a state of disarray, she blurts out an unintended invitation for further intimacy, betraying her own reservations. Yihan seizes the opportunity, kissing her fervently, only to be abruptly halted by a sudden message from Haejun. Urgently, she implores him to check, fearing it may be a critical message from the hospital. Yihan retrieves his phone, anticipation turning swiftly to frustration as he reads a teasing message from his aunt about yacht surveillance. Enraged, he clenches his jaw, snapping the phone shut in a surge of anger. After a while, Haejun ascends to the yacht's roof, her eyes sparkling as she exclaims to Yihan how breathtaking the view appears from up there. Yihan, however, cuts through the moment, questioning Haejun about the unresolved matter she mentioned earlier. With composure, Haejun clarifies that she hadn't forgotten their promise or attempted to evade it, rather, the suddenness of the situation caught her off guard, leaving no time for prior notice. Yihan locks eyes with Haejun, gently taking her hand and drawing her closer. With a tender yet probing tone, he poses a poignant question: if given the chance to turn back time before saving the patient, would she alter anything? Without hesitation, Haejun responds unequivocally, affirming that she would repeat her actions, for she is bound by her oath as a doctor. Yihan's expression softens into a smile as he enfolds her in a warm embrace, expressing his unwavering trust in her. He reassures her that he believes in her sincerity. Overwhelmed with emotion, tears well up in Haejun's eyes as she reciprocates the embrace, tightly holding on to Yihan's hand. The following day at the hospital, Dr. Choi engages in conversation with the VIP patient, fervently asserting his status as one of the preeminent doctors in the field, leaving no room for doubt or concern. When the patient inquires about Dr. Yoon Haejun's role in the surgery, Dr. Choi confirms that Haejun will indeed be present in the operating room, though in the capacity of his assistant. As the patient silently scrutinizes Haejun, she offers a reassuring comment, promising to provide unwavering support to Dr. Choi throughout the procedure. On their way to the operating room, Dr. Choi's voice drips with disdain as he accuses Haejun of opportunism, insinuating her attempts to curry favor with the patient. His frustration boiling over, Dr. Choi storms into the lift alone, abandoning Haejun. However, Haejun maintains her composure, internally reminding herself that Dr. Choi is nothing more than a sunflower, insignificant in the grand scheme of things, not worthy of her anger or frustration. Meanwhile, Kyungmin's irritation is palpable as he questions Dr. Choi's motives, highlighting his unwarranted interference in the surgery. Kyungmin divulges the details of a past altercation between Dr. Choi and Dr. Chonsung during a previous surgery, resulting in delays and the subsequent spread of rumors regarding Dr. Choi's inflexibility. With Dr. Choi likely haunted by these rumors, Kyungmin speculates that he may be using this surgery as a means of redemption. Haejun intervenes, urging Kyungmin to maintain focus as he prepares to observe the surgery. Suddenly, Haejun's heart races as she sees Yihan conversing with Dr. Choi. Yihan's piercing gaze locks onto Haejun, instantly triggering a rush of memories from their intimate conversation on the yacht, where she promised to settle his debt, confidently asserting her ability to compartmentalize her professional and personal lives. Yihan, with unwavering confidence, acknowledges this, swiftly transitioning to plans for their upcoming date in 3 days, an eagerly anticipated charity auction hosted by his aunt. Haejun's grin widens, expressing her readiness to prepare their receipt in advance. Yihan, with a hint of playful challenge, hopes to encounter Yoon Haejun rather than the professional facade of Dr. Yoon. Tenderly, he plants a soft kiss on Haejun's cheek, igniting a surge of warmth within her. Dr. Choi's abrupt interjection breaks the spell, bringing Haejun back to the present with a start, as he calls her name and offers a greeting. Shifting his attention back to Yihan, Dr. Choi expresses surprise at his unexpected presence. Undeterred, Yihan confidently asserts his purpose, noting the VIP patient's presence and gracefully extending his hand to greet Kyungmin, who is visibly taken aback by Yihan's familiarity. Similarly, Minguk is stunned by Yihan's recognition and casual greeting. Yihan takes a moment to appreciate their hard work, wishing them luck for the day's surgery, which fills Haejun with immense happiness, seeing Ihan's genuine appreciation for everyone's efforts. Turning back to Haejun with a warm smile, Ihan extends his hand, playfully commenting on their previous encounter as if to solidify their connection. Haejun reciprocates the gesture, affirming their meeting with a heartfelt smile. Haejun's mind races as she tries to comprehend why Ihan is here today when they had agreed to meet at the auction. Suddenly, a memory flashes back to their conversation on the yacht, where she had asked Ihan about what she should wear to the auction. Ihan's nonchalant response, "Whatever you have in the wardrobe will be fine," echoes in her mind. In the present moment, Ihan's cryptic comment, delivered in a secretive tone only Haejun could decipher, adds to her confusion. He expresses his anticipation for seeing something so bold today that he won't be able to take his eyes off it. At the party, Yohan cuts a striking figure in his impeccably tailored suit and tie, exuding an aura of astonishment, while Ihan, equally resplendent, radiates handsomeness befitting a gentleman. Yohan, with a mischievous glint in his eye, needles Ihan about the discomfort of their attire, questioning how he manages to endure it day in and day out. Ihan, with a hint of exasperation, advises Yohan to cease his incessant complaints. Undeterred, Yohan, in a teasing tone, brings up Mr. Kang's gossip about Haejun's crucial surgery earlier that day, suggesting that Ihan might be concerned about her absence. Dismissing Yohan's insinuation with a wave of his hand, Han adamantly declares it as utter nonsense. Yohan, incredulous, demands why Ihan can't simply be honest about his worry for Haejun. Grinning confidently, Ihan asserts that Haejun is flawless and incapable of making mistakes. Amidst their banter, Ihan's keen ears catch the faint sound of heels clicking, and as he turns, he's met with the breathtaking sight of Haejun entering the room, captivating in her golden dress. Yohan, struck dumb by her beauty, leans towards Ihan, whispering his newfound understanding of Ihan's feelings for Haejun. Without hesitation, Ihan thrusts his credit card before Yohan, instructing him to spend freely until it's maxed out, emphasizing its boundless limit. Haejun's gaze meets Ihan's, her pleasant smile a silent acknowledgement. Closing the distance between them, Ihan reassures her that he hasn't been waiting long. As they stroll together, Haejun muses on the enchanting ambience of the venue, speculating if it's embellished for Christmas. Reflecting on her past experiences, she shares that it's her inaugural attendance at an auction, reminiscing about her usual Christmas spent at the hospital, where she celebrated with the children, spreading joy through gifts and festivities. Ihan remains silent in response to Haejun's question, his expression clouded with gloom. Concerned, Haejun inquires if there's something about her dress he doesn't like. Ihan hastily reassures her that he never said he disliked it, exhaling deeply before questioning if the dress is also from her wardrobe. Haejun confirms that it is indeed from her collection. However, the mere thought of Haejun wearing the dress elsewhere fills Ihan with a pang of jealousy. Unbeknownst to him, the reality is that Haejun is wearing it for the first time, having impulsively purchased it while intoxicated the previous year. Despite his inner turmoil, Ihan manages to compliment Haejun on her overall appearance, then takes her hand gently, his concern shifting to her surgery earlier that day. Haejun responds with reassurance, detailing the success of the procedure and the patient's stable condition, predicting his imminent awakening. Ihan places his hands on Haejun's shoulders, walking alongside her, the weight of worry easing with her comforting words. As they enjoy a glass of wine, Haejun notices Ihan's mother in the vicinity and suggests he go and greet her. Before Ihan can respond, Haejun dashes off to greet his mother. Left in a state of confusion, Ihan is approached from behind by Haejun, who commends Haejun's gesture of approaching Ihan's mother with such warmth and grace. As Haejun approaches Ihan's mother to engage in conversation, her friends begin bombarding her with questions and comments about her busy schedule. Ihan's mother gracefully introduces Haejun and expresses gratitude for her presence despite her hectic workload. However, the barrage of inquiries from her friends doesn't cease, and they start making remarks about Haejun's packed schedule. Observing Ihan's mother's composed demeanor, Haejun can't help but wonder if she can handle the pressure of the situation. Without skipping a beat, Ihan's mother takes charge, swiftly intervening to assert that Haejun is busy saving lives and shouldn't be bothered any further. Meanwhile, in another corner, Haejun irritably remarks to Ihan about his previous insistence on never asking for favors, pointing out the irony of his current situation. Ihan dismisses her remark, but Haejun persists, teasing him about a gift she has prepared for him. Despite his reluctance, Ihan agrees to hear her out. Haejun reveals a golden key card, surprising Ihan. She then tantalizingly mentions the incredible views from the hotel suites and the festive Christmas atmosphere. Ihan raises an eyebrow, suggesting he could arrange such luxuries himself. However, Haejun gleefully informs him that the hotel is fully booked and that she even secured the last available room, taunting him about her ability to outmaneuver him, especially with her yacht equipped with cameras. With a wicked grin, she declares that the room she booked is indeed the last one. Ihan's mother exclaims that the situation seemed a bit intense for Haejun. Haejun brushes off her worries, expressing gratitude for her warm welcome, as she never had a chance to explain what happened last time. Ihan's mother reassures her, insisting she doesn't need to explain herself and encourages her to get back to Ihan, as he must be waiting. With a nod of appreciation, Haejun immediately strides towards Ihan. Witnessing Ihan and Haejun together fills Ihan's mother with immense happiness. They radiate with passion and joy, shining brightly on their own. Ihan queries Haejun about the fun they shared together. Haejun informs him it was just typical motherly bonding moments. However, upon spotting a musical jewelry box at the auction, Haejun bursts into laughter. Perplexed, Ihan questions her about the amusement. Haejun explains it reminded her of the day Ihan confessed his love to her. She was initially taken aback, wondering if he was joking or trying to avoid deducting from her debt. She even thought he was trying to escape signing her receipt. As the auctioneer announces the auctioning of a yacht, Haejun expresses surprise at such an extravagant item being auctioned. Glancing at Ihan, she wonders aloud what's happening. Ihan, grinning, suggests she knows he wouldn't resort to such tactics just to avoid a debt deduction, providing her with a sense of relief. Without hesitation, Ihan raises his hand to bid. When asked about any questions regarding the yacht, Ihan inquires about the presence of cameras. The auctioneer assures him there are none, but they can be installed if desired. Ihan declines and confidently announces his bid of 780 million won before the auctioneer can finish his sentence. Haejun and everyone around her are shocked by the bold bid. With assurance, Ihan asks the auctioneer where he should sign. Haejun diligently searches for information about Ihan's extravagant purchase on her phone, her thoughts swirling in disbelief at what Ihan has just done. After a while, Ihan calls out her name, prompting her to turn back and confront him about his actions. Haejun demands to know why he bought the yacht. Ihan, feigning innocence, asks what she means. Haejun reminds him of the exorbitant bid he placed, 780 million, not 78 million, right? Ihan casually agrees, remarking on the coincidence. But Haejun, with unwavering determination, insists that Ihan be honest with her, reminding him that he made the purchase right after she teased him. Ihan defends himself, stating it was simply something he wanted, emphasizing that if it shows how serious he is about her, then all the better. Haejun, taken aback, exclaims if he really wanted a yacht. Ihan leans forward, affirming that it's something he's always desired, despite its hefty price tag. Haejun, skeptical, pushes his hand away, expressing disbelief that he wouldn't worry about spending such a vast amount of money. Ihan, gripping her hand tightly, challenges her assumptions, questioning who told her that he can have anything he desires. He passionately describes how he's longed for the yacht, how the desire has consumed him, and how he's envisioned the feeling of finally making it his. Haejun, trying to clarify, asks if he's talking about the yacht. Ihan smirks, playfully questioning if that's truly what she believes. In the same hall, Dr. Chonsung was strolling with a companion, observing the auction. Suddenly, the woman with Chonsung locks eyes with Ihan and remarks that she heard Seo Yihan from Seomoon Motors had become the chairman of Shansung's hospital. She further questions if the woman next to Ihan is a celebrity, as she certainly looks like one, but she can't place a name to Haejun's face. Chonsung abruptly stops in his tracks, gritting his teeth in frustration, and comments that Haejun was just lying when she claimed the hospital was her life. The woman asks what's wrong with him all of a sudden, if he knows the woman with Ihan. Chonsung doesn't respond, but his glare at Haejun speaks volumes as she and Ihan appear visibly happy. Later that night, Ihan brings Haejun onto the yacht he purchased. He gently asks if Haejun is okay. Haejun assures him she's fine, it's just that she doesn't know how to describe the overwhelming feeling. Ihan leans in closer, suggesting that feeling is probably her liking him, so she shouldn't try to deny it. Haejun blushes at his words, remarking that he doesn't need to say it if it's still true. Ihan gazes into her eyes and confesses that he also likes her, so there's no need to be shy. With that, he slowly leans in to kiss her. The next morning, Haejun walks on the roof of the yacht, mesmerized by the astonishingly beautiful view. Suddenly, Ihan steps behind her and wraps his arms tightly around Haejun in a warm embrace. The day before Haejun was supposed to take the CSAT, her family home was covered in red stickers for seizure. She couldn't afford to make a single mistake anymore. There was a looming possibility that she would have to give up on her dreams, but she smiled and declared that she was okay. Despite the challenges, there were silver linings. None of her family members had to endure living separately to make ends meet, and she didn't have to scramble to find a job immediately for financial support. Perhaps it would have been easier if she hadn't been accepted in the first place. She diligently completed all the scholarship applications her teacher sent her way, keeping her pen moving because she felt that if she didn't do anything, she would fall into a pit of despair. But just when things started to blur after filling in so many applications, one day, Haejun's teacher stopped her and delivered incredible news. Haejun had received a scholarship that would cover everything. Her teacher revealed that an anonymous member from the Jaeil Hospital Financial Aid Association had accepted her scholarship. Haejun couldn't believe it was real. Overflowing with gratitude, she penned a sincere letter expressing her heartfelt thanks. In it, she pledged to do her utmost and become a significant individual someday. Then, one day, Haejun received a reply from that anonymous benefactor. In those few short sentences, the letter conveyed, "I hope you will. I believe in you." Those words anchored Haejun, keeping her grounded and focused. She poured her efforts into becoming someone anyone could be proud of. Through her journey, she discovered that while the world might not always appear kind, warm sincerity, even if it initially seems distant, still exists. Abruptly, a voice jerks Haejun back to the present. It was Yihan, calling her name, probing what was occupying her thoughts so deeply. In that moment, Haejun wished fervently, hoping that this could mark the beginning for them. It was only the second time in her life that she had dared to make a wish for herself, not for her patients. With a hint of awe in her voice, Haejun responds to Yihan, stating that she was simply mesmerized by the view. The ocean at sunrise was breathtaking, and if she possessed even a fraction of the wealth that Yihan did, she would have gladly purchased this boat just to witness this spectacle every day. Feeling a surge of affection, Yihan reaches out to Haejun, enveloping her in a warm embrace, his words a soft whisper against her ear. "Let's just stay like this for a moment," he murmurs. Lost in the embrace, Haejun finds herself drifting once more, replaying the beautiful moment they shared in her mind. Yihan, sensing her distraction, gently nudges her, questioning what could possibly be occupying her thoughts when he was right there beside her. With a playful gleam in her eyes, Haejun teases him, quipping that she was just pondering what she could do to become the greatest doctor in Korea. Yihan's response is serious as he tells Haejun that if it was meant as a joke, it didn't land well. Haejun reassures him that it wasn't a jest. If he ever feels unwell, he just needs to let her know, and she'll do everything she can to help him feel better. Yihan falls silent for a moment, causing Haejun to worry. She asks him what's troubling him, urging him to disclose anything he hasn't told her. She offers to examine him right away. In response, Yihan gestures toward his heart, indicating that there's something he feels there. He expresses a sense of unease that he believes will persist throughout the day. With a playful yet affectionate gesture, he lifts Haejun into his arms and whispers that now she'll have to take care of him all day. The next day, Haejun updates the family of the foreign patient on his successful surgery. She informs them that he is still young and regained consciousness the previous night, so he'll be discharged soon. The translator conveys the family's gratitude, expressing their desire to repay Haejun in any way they can. Haejun modestly replies that they were simply doing their job and credits Dr. Choi as the operating surgeon. She assures them that everything is progressing well and that they will continue to monitor the patient closely for the time being. But deep inside, she felt exhausted from the events of the previous night with Yihan.